Less than 9 minutes away. 9 minutes away. Sound test. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Sound check, 1 2 3 1 2 3. Less than 5 minutes from live. We want to welcome everyone to Poker House Fort Worth live on Facebook and YouTube. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. This is your Wednesday night, 7 p.m., $1, $2, no limit hold'em, $300 max buy-in DJ's game. DJ was in the booth with me on Sunday's live stream. Everybody knows and loves DJ here at Poker House Fort Worth. And this is his namesake game, DJ in the 5 seat. And we are kicking this one off as usual with the bomb pot. Once again, thanks for everybody for tuning in to YouTube or Facebook. There's quite a few people already logged in that I see and watching. Let us know who you're tuning in and rooting for. Which one of your buddies lets you know, hey, I'm going to be on the stream mixing it up in DJ's game. And we definitely have a waiting list for this game. So if you are listening and or watching from nearby Fort Worth area, come on down to Poker House Fort Worth and sign up for this game, just in case we have some people fall out and go into the boards. Of course, we have action out on the floor in our normal cash games. So plenty of stuff going on here at Poker House Fort Worth on this Wednesday night. We'll get a look at some of the faces and names here shortly, seeing some familiar ones as usual. Not a lot of action on this first bomb pot here. Looks like John's going to bet $10 with his, looks like a straight. Yeah, he's got a straight on the bottom board. Mack coming along with his, looks like he's got 2 pair, some boat outs on the bottom there. Seeing a lot of familiar faces, a lot of returning faces. Good to see Mack back in his normal 9 seat. And Misty already in the chat shouting down Mack. Already has fans. Missed him on the streams the last few weeks. A character to watch play for sure. Trying to play catch up here with the cards. These bomb pots get a little bit crazy everywhere. Looks like RDW with the nut flush on the top board. And who's got the straight on the bottom? Let's see, 5. Mack. He's got the 7 high straight that I see so far. For those who don't know, at the top of every hour, we have a Omaha double board bomb pot. Standard Omaha rules, you must play 2 cards out of your hand and only 3 on the board. The top board is good for half, and the bottom board is good for half of the pot. So I got a $105 bet here on the river and a couple callers here. So Matt going to call with his straight. Orlando calls with, looks like his straight as well. RDW with the nut flush on the top. Even John here going to call with his straight. So these guys are going to be splitting up a lot of money on this bottom board for the straight, while RDW is going to be taking down that top one all to himself. So $525 in this pot, half of it going to RDW for his ace tray. No, that can't be right, because yeah, it looks like RDW in his hand makes it a little tough on these 4-card hands for these readers. RDW can't have the ace of spades in his hand because there's one on the board there, so the king high flush in Mack's hand is going to take half. So good on Mack there, back into the stream and already dragging some chips in the first bomb pot. And it looks like we had an 8 high straight possibly in RDW's hand. Trying to look at what the camera showed there. So this could be, we know at least Mack is going to be taking down half of this pot, and it could be a split between a couple other players for the straight on the bottom. Dealer Jenny there in the box, splitting it up, letting us know as she hands Mack his half. And it looks like she is, yeah, chopping up. Okay, so Mack won 3/4 of that bomb pot. And John in the 8 seat there possibly splitting some of that with RDW. Not sure, have to look. Either way, thanks for tuning in. Poker House Fort Worth. DJ's game on Wednesday nights. $1, $2 no limit hold'em game with a $300 max buy-in. Cheap enough to play for anybody's bankroll, but entertaining enough to stream to you guys. This is definitely a 1-2 game that plays a little bit bigger, but it is more about some of the cast of characters they would get into this game. And let us know who your character is that you're tuned in for. So I have some shout outs to Orlando and Matt, some Mack fans. Good to see from everybody tuned in who they're here to root along. And you see DJ there in the 5 seat, the namesake of the game. Of course, Mack in the 9, Orlando in the 1 seat tonight. RDW, good return from him. Haven't seen him in a couple weeks. And seat number 2. Now, while we get the graphics reset here off of the bomb pot, we'll trust that these hands are reading as such. For now, Matt can be betting out 15 on his 8-7 offsuit, making it top pair with this 8-3-5 board. Not much for anyone else to come along here, so that hand is going to go his way as he shows top pair. Again, a big thank you to all of these members here at Poker House Fort Worth for sitting down and joining us for this DJ's game, signing up and willing to be laughed at on stream. Not by me, of course, but everyone else tuning in. So they're brave enough to come play live for all of us to enjoy. And again, if it's something that you would like to do, it's fully encouraged. It is a lot of fun to play on live stream, not only for the poker aspect of being able to come back and look and see how you played, but just to show everybody your chops. Let them know that you bluffed DJ out of a massive pot. John will be raising it up here to 15 with ace-8 suited. Mac, East, Clay, and Matt all coming along with various hands. Pocket sevens are currently in the lead. To a flop of Jack 5 deuce. So the Jack 10 of Matt going to be taking the lead in this hand. Mac picking up middle pair with backdoor diamond draws. John going to be the one to continuation bet here on this flop for 50. We'll see if East is going to lay the pocket sevens down at Clay, not going to continue with the ace 7. See if Matt wants to see another card there with the Jack 10, top pair 10 kicker. So like he does. So we're going to have 3 players as Matt comes along as well with his middle pair, backdoor diamonds. King of clubs on the turn. Does not help anyone, but does slow down the Jack 10. John does pump the brakes on the hand, and we're headed to a river still 3 ways with the 3 of clubs. And that's going to be right in Mack's wheelhouse, making 2 pair on this river. Matt, thinking his jacks are best, is reaching for chips. Looks like he's going to bet about $40 here. John insta-folds with just ace high. Let's see if Mack wants to raise him up a little bit here, or if he just wants to call to get to the showdown here. Yeah, it looks like he is just calling. And Matt's going to show his hand and see the bad news there from Mack, where he was able to make 2 pair on the river there. So Mack at it again here at Poker House Fort Worth. One of my favorite characters of this stream. Again, you are watching a $1, $2 no limit hold'em cash game with a $300 max buy-in. $300 is the most you can come into this game for, so it's definitely within the reach of pretty much anybody who likes to play Texas Hold'em. With just the added spice of being on stream where anything can and does typically happen. Matt here under the gun waking up with ace queen offsuit decides to raise this one up to 30. So already out of the gate, we're getting them pretty hefty bets pre-flop. RDW looking down at king 7 offsuit decides that he wants to see what that hand will do. Dummy D, one of my favorite characters here at Fort Worth, lays down his suited connectors. DJ with one of his favorite hands, 3-deuce, lays it down. You got to go back and watch that one, DJ. There's no way you just laid down a 3-deuce offsuit. It's right in his wheelhouse. So ace queen going up against king 7 to a flop of 9 ace 4. So Matt going to be taking top pair ace kicker. He's going to check it. Very sneaky check there. RDW going to try to represent the ace. So well played there by Matt to disguise the strength of his hand. But unfortunately, RDW doesn't have anything to come along with. So he's not going to get much more out of him. But good stab there by RDW. I respect it. Check on the turn, headed to a deuce on the river. It does not change a thing. Matt's going to go ahead and lead this one out here to try to see if there's anything that RDW will call. But as we can see, it will not be happening. Counting out some chips. Pretty hefty bet there. Insta-fold by RDW, of course. Now let's see if Matt shows this hand. He does. Okay, so he shows the ace-queen. Lets everybody know that he checked a monster on that flop. So if anybody is paying attention at the table, it's one of the problems with telling good stories at the table is not all the times are people even paying attention. So you try to make the same move later as a bluff and it doesn't work. It's because they weren't paying attention to you in the first place, the first time. Dealer Jenny handing out hand at number 5. Chips are definitely swinging already here on this Wednesday night. Mack calling the $5 shuttle with ace jack of clubs. Dummy D coming along with his king jack offsuit. I don't know if I can call him dummy all night long. I respect and adore this gentleman at Poker House Fort Worth that I feel so bad calling him Dummy D. But according to him, that was his nickname back in his pool hustling days. So it is not something that we gave him here at Poker House Fort Worth. It is his own name back from his pool hustling. He looks like an old pool hustler too. I love it. I love it. Daryl Dummy D coming along. 8-deuce-5 on this flop. It was really no help to anyone, but people floating along with some overcards here. Mack is still in the lead and still with the betting lead as he picks up the flush draw here on this turn. I don't think Matt can continue here with anything. I don't mind the float on the flop, but not much he can do there. And John here has the gut shot to the wheel with his ace-4 offsuit. Deuce 5 on that board. Does he feel lucky? Oh, he's raising. I love it. And an instant call by Mack. So John tried to make a move there, but Mack having none of it since he has the flush draw on this turn here. Now, if John left himself enough behind, which I don't think he did, I don't hate the play here, but the problem is that now John doesn't have quite enough on this river to try to get Mack off of it. He's going to have to put the rest of it in. It's only $58. And Mack may call him down with ace high just because Mack can, and he does. See, great play there by John, really. And see, Mack can't believe that he's ahead. He's going to show his hand. So I don't hate that play out of John one iota. The problem is there just wasn't enough, John. Mr. Mack is as sticky as they come sometimes. And with only $58 remaining, he's going to have to call that down no matter what, because that's how he is. Now, if John would have had a few $100s left behind, that play would have been perfect. So John, if you're watching this back or if your buddies are texting you, uh, tell them you did a fantastic play. You just didn't have the last final bullet big enough to get him off of that hand. Looking now live at the tables here at Poker House Fort Worth, we have a couple tables, this live stream game and the one outer table. So if you'd like to get in on this stream, gives you a table to play at while you wait for your name to be called, just in case people don't re-enter after possibly breaking or if they decide to leave early for whatever reason. Can still get in on this stream. $2 called around by several players. Matt picking up ace king. Already been involved in quite a few hands already tonight. Raises it up to 40. He is making no qualms about this being a 1-2 game. And no one has anything to wake up with there, and he picks up some blinds and some limps there. There might have been a 3-bet under that we missed. There's quite a few red chips in that pot that just didn't quite make it to the graphics here, but Matt already showing definitely that he has no fear of mixing it up here tonight in this 1-2 game. And DJ hasn't played a hand. DJ, I'm calling you out. This is at the 6th or 7th hand. Michael, did Mac just turn over ace? No, he had ace jack of clubs, a flush draw, and John had the ace 4. And I think as a joke, they slid over the aces together and said, see, I had a real hand. But he won that hand with just ace jack high. Like I said, it was a great bluff by John on the turn, but didn't leave himself quite enough chips to do it again on the river to get Mac off of the hand. No. I saw it when they turned him over, Michael. But then they just kind of put the aces together for fun. But he, in fact, did have ace jack. He sheepishly didn't even want to turn it over until towards the end there. 6 people to a flop here. Queen 7 deuce. Matt flopping middle pair, and that's about it. No one with a queen in their hand. Matt does go ahead and bet his second pair. Mac coming along with king 9 because that's what Mac does. Mac needing a king or 9 to take the lead in this hand. A 4 on the river doesn't help his situation any. So we're probably going to see a check here. No, Matt's going to bet this, and a good bet it is. Trying to represent the queen there just in case. Mac has a 7, which we see he does not. Goes ahead and lays down the king 9. And Matt choosing not to show that one. Almost did. It almost looked like he showed the 7 and decided against it in the last moment. Tell you what, if Mac would have called him there with king high, that would have been the end of the entire night of anyone trying to bluff Mac out of a hand. Which I would be afraid to anyway. Dealer Ginny in the box. Hand number 8 going out. Someone let DJ know that Reese is disappointed that it's gone in almost full orbit without him playing a hand. We are in a 15-minute delay, so hopefully he has played some by the time he finds out that I'm sorely disappointed. Dummy D limping in with ace jack off suit. DJ finally gets a hand. Speak of it. Calls the $2. Clay right next to him, waking up with pocket 10s. Raises it up to 17. RDW going to come along with his 9-7 off suit. Dummy D calls as well. And DJ does not squeeze. Kind of a decent little squeeze spot there, but Clay is not a guy who gets out of line very often, so you just have to call it there with the deuces and hope to try to spike one, which he unfortunately does not. Queen 5-5. And Clay is going to continue his pre-flop aggression here and bet out to see where he's at in the hand. RDW not coming along. Dummy D not coming along. DJ going to peel one more card. He's been tired of sitting on the sidelines since the stream started. He's going to try to catch a sneaky deuce on the turn. And just like magic, there it is. DJ hits the 2-outer on the turn, disguised as can possibly be. The only problem with this hand for DJ is if he shows any aggression at all, which he immediately does, he's going to scream a queen or a 5, and which both beat Clay. It would be better for DJ here if Clay had ace queen. But since Clay has an underpair, it's just not going to get paid off. But DJ deciding to get sticky with the deuces, see if he can get lucky at one time or at least keep Clay honest. Spikes the deuce on the turn and gives him the confidence to bet that one up and through and get it through. You hear Jenny there talking about the full house made there of DJ. That's our fortune jackpot promotion. Got a few more days left on that promotion. Fantastic, fun promotion. We've given away way too much money. The long story short is you are trying to make 4 different poker hands in a 4-hour window. The windows in blocks throughout the day. You're trying to make a full house, an ace high flush, a straight, and a flopped set. And if you can make those 4 poker hands, you win the progressive jackpot. That goes up $100 a day. I don't know what it is at the moment, but I know that either way, it's a way to get rewarded just for playing poker with us here at Poker House Fort Worth. If you're going to be playing poker, you might as well have some extra benefits and extra ways to win money. We've got Clay raising it up to 12 with King 8 offsuit. Matt coming along with 8-6 of hearts. Mack coming along as well with Queen Jack, and Orlando completing the action with Ace Queen offsuit. We're going to go 4 to a flop with over a $50 pot already. King 8 deuce. King 8 deuce. So Clay flopping top 2 pair. Not much else for anyone else. Matt, middle pair, does take the betting lead on this hand. Mack lets the Queen Jack go. Orlando, real pretty hand in the 1 seat, but not much going on. So I'm going to lay that one down. Now, Clay did check the flop. Let's see if he immediately announces himself with a check raise. He is cutting out more chips and doing just that. Big check raise into Matt. To 60. He's going to be $50 more. Raised it to 65. 50 more to Matt. And Matt's going to come along. He is not going to be pushed around, I don't think. Really, yep, there it is. He did make the call. So Matt in dire straits in this hand, not really knowing it, is needing to pick up some running hearts, and that is about it. There's a 10 on the turn, which seals the hand for Clay, and he's going to push in the rest of his stack for 221, and Matt obviously cannot come along. And good thing for Matt not catching a 6 or a heart on that turn, costing him more. So a great check raise there by Clay after flopping top 2 pair to get a pretty healthy stack there. The chip stacks, I believe, are mostly correct. Mack showing 938 in front of him. I don't think he has quite that much given the bomb pot in the beginning. I think the computer might have attributed the entirety of the pot to him. I don't know. We'll have to see. But it's not off by much. He is definitely the big stack here at the table on this $300 buy-in cash game. Under the gun DJ, let's go Jack 8 offsuit. Clay with the 7-deuce throws it away. I guess they're not playing the 7-deuce game, or Clay doesn't want any part of it. Folds around to Mack, who limps in here with 5-deuce offsuit. Orlando waking up with pocket kings in the 1 seat. Going to raise this one up to 20. Yeah, it looks like 20. Dummy D going to come along trying to catch a 4 with his pocket 4s east, waking up with the decent hand ace jack offsuit, makes the call as well. And Mack, who doesn't like to fold, is going to call that 20 with the 5-deuce to try to take out all of these premium hands. Dealer Jenny taking us to a flop. Queen 5-4, 2 hearts. No players holding hearts. So second pair for Mack. Dummy D bottom set and immediately leading out. Big train wreck here for Orlando. And since Mack doesn't like to fold either, he's going to be coming along with this middle pair. Orlando with pocket kings, thinking he is best here. Unfortunately, he is drawing really thin. So Dummy D getting two-way action on his flopped bottom set. He's got a couple hundred behind, which is about the same stack as Orlando. The 3 of hearts on the turn does put out 3 hearts, but Dummy D doesn't care. Continues betting now 25. Mack picks up an open-ended straight draw now with that 3. But I do not know if he's going to be able to come along here. He knows that Dummy D doesn't get all out of line very often. So, yeah, he goes in and lets that go. As sticky as Mack is, he knows. Now, Orlando, I just don't think you can fold for 25, but he does. Fantastic fold there by Orlando. And Dummy's going to show that hand for the promotion. And good for Orlando that he does to let him know that he made a fantastic laydown. So, a very straighty, very flushy board on that turn for only a $25 price tag does get Orlando to fold. So Orlando definitely is showing that he has the ability to not overplay a hand like pocket kings there. And good on him for it, because he was drawn to just a king. Not a lot of people would lay that down. Good on you, Orlando. Quite a few people tuned in watching this Poker House Fort Worth Wednesday night DJs game. $1, $2, $300 max buy-in, no limit hold'em cash game. We've had a lot of people, a lot of fans in the chat of some of these players. Let me know where you're listening from or watching from. Let me know who you are rooting here at Poker House Fort Worth to take down a few monster pots tonight. Whether you're on Facebook or YouTube, be sure and like and share the video with your friends. Say, hey, look who I was watching on stream play. And if you are here to watch Dummy D, follows a flopped set of 4s up with pocket queens. And unfortunately, the only caller he's going to get is Matt. And it's going to be a $25 pre-flop call with 7-deuce versus pocket queens. 10-deuce 6, 7-deuce picking up bottom pair. Dummy D not going to slow down though here as the pre-flop progressor cutting out some chips. He is definitely going to be following this one up. So Matt goes ahead and lets that go. I'm not sure if they're playing the 7-deuce game or if Matt just wanted to, for the win with 7-deuce for the love of the stream. So either way, Dummy D picking up a few more chips there with his pocket queens, back-to-back hands there for him. And thank you to a few of you who liked the stream on Facebook. It doesn't go unnoticed, and it helps us show a little bit more online. The more interactivity we have, the more viewers that we have tuned in. We have spent some time and effort on this stream, bringing you the best show we can, and it's getting better every stream. The sound, the picture, some of the overlays, some of the stuff we have in store. Really excited about a lot of it here at Poker House Fort Worth, and your support helps make that come a lot faster. Lots of people calling it the $5 straddle, seeing an ace king out there at DJ holding ace deuce of diamonds to a flop of 10-8-6 rainbow. Clay flopping top pair jack kicker. And it looks like he's going to be doing the betting lead here for 15. WD going to come along with the open ender. He's got jack 9 in his hand with 8-10 on the board, looking for a 7 or a queen. The 9 on the turn gives both players the same effective straight draw, but unfortunately Clay has the pair of 10s. If you're a WD fan, and it's going to go bet, bet, and these guys are going to end up chopping the pot as the queen on the river brings both players a straight, one card straight with the jack they have in their hand. And bet 25 there by Clay. So Clay going to see that he got a little bit unlucky in that hand. Had it on lock. And now they're going to chop it up. So dealer Jenny there telling them to take the chips back they have in front of them as she chops up the chips. So we're seeing some Mack fans, some Orlando fans, some Matt fans. What do you think? Who's your favorite player? Don't let them get out cheered on. Let me know in the chat. And at number 13, Mack picking up the seven-deuce game, $5 from every player, raised it up pre-flop there to 20. No one called. So Mack there picking up an extra, $40 of equity for raising it up with that seven-deuce, getting everybody to fold. Andrew asks, how do you get on stream? Can you apply? No need to apply, Andrew. Just come on into Poker House Fort Worth, and you can sign up any time during the week to play here on DJ's game. Anybody who is a member of Poker House Fort Worth can play on this stream. Does not cost anything extra. You don't pay anything for it. Just standard as if you were playing a cash game out on the outer tables. Just the hourly rate and the membership fee. If you're not a member here of Poker House Fort Worth, you can come on in with any kind of valid ID, fill out a short application, and I believe it's a $10 for a one-day membership or a $30 month-long membership fee. And then you can play any of our cash games, any of our tournaments by being a member here of Poker House Fort Worth. And we have some action here. So RDW raised it up to $10 with the ace-10 of diamonds, called by Dummy D. East then 3 bets with pocket jacks to 25, and Matt is going to rip the rest of his stack in for 177 total with his pocket 8s. So I do not hate the all-in one bit, but unfortunately he's going to be way behind here. Mack showed an 8 as he folded, so that is one of Matt's outs in the muck. RDW letting his go. East here in the 4 seat, thinking about it, and I don't know if he's waiting for Jenny to let him know that it's his turn as they catch up on the graphics, or if he's really thinking that Matt could have queens, kings, or aces here. It really gives an insight as to East's mindset if he can lay down pocket jacks here. The man came to a win, and he's not going to get it put in with pocket jacks. Yeah, he does ultimately make the call, which you pretty much have to. And so we are going to go heads up with Matt the one all in on a $270 pot. So this will be a big swing for either player. Matt unfortunately only has a 1-8 left in the deck, as we saw one of the players fold an 8, but he does have hearts and clubs in his favor. If we can get 4 to a flush on the board. Jenny here checking these stacks. Oh, it looks like RDW called as well. Never mind. We're going to have 3 ways here. So it wasn't waiting on the graphics. East was waiting on RDW to act. So this is going to be a much larger pot than anticipated, over $500 in this pot. RDW comes along with the ace 10 of diamonds. So RDW and Matt, looks like we're going to have a small side pot as all 3 players put in the rest of their chips. East is going to be the one left with a little bit of change. So RDW and Matt both with all of their chips in the middle. Matt holding pocket 8s, RDW ace 10 of diamonds, and East pocket jacks. And a flop of all diamonds. Wow, RDW flops both other players virtually dead. So big pot there for RDW. Picking the exact proper time to play ace 10 of diamonds on a king 7 deuce of diamonds flop. And that will leave East and Matt both reaching for some more bullets. Fantastic flop there for RDW. We will see if Matt decides to come back in. And I think East stepped away as well. Nothing wrong with stepping away there after that beat. You go to a flop thinking all you're dodging is any ace, and turns out you're pretty much flopped dead to an ace high flush. So good timing there by RDW to put it in with that. Hand number 15, Mack's going to come in for $2 with the king, queen offsuit. DJ, 4 deuce suited premium hand for him, raises it up to 6. Love the hand, love the raise sizing. Mack and WD coming along, and Clay coming along. The flop of ace 7 jack. Dummy D, the only one with bottom pair here. Let's see if DJ can keep up the aggression. No, he doesn't. He chooses to check this flop, knowing that going up against 3 other opponents, somebody's got an ace. 4 on the turn. It doesn't help anyone. If DJ can find a bet here, he can take this down, but does not do it. It looks like Clay is going to be the one to take this one out, the betting lead here. And Mack, with a gut shot, decides to call the $10. DJ lets it go. So now Mack does not get the gut shot, but he does have the best hand with king high. Clay going to fire another bullet here. Well played by Clay. Even if it is Mack, it's going to be hard for Mack to continue. And it looks like he does fold. So Clay there is showing his hand, letting everybody know, I'm capable, boys. Here it is. Here's the bluff. And it was a well done bluff indeed to take down that pot. So it looks like East reloaded a little bit there as Dealer Jenny communicates the new chip stacks to our control room. Looks like Matt reloaded as well for 200. So all players come back again to try to get some of those chips back as they should. It's a very good game. Lots of action, plenty of chips flying around. Not very hard to get a bullet back on this table. RDW +1 gonna make the call for $2 with pocket fives. East coming along as well. Queen 7 offsuit. Clay raising it to 7 with King Jack offsuit. Matt wanting to get back into the mix as well, calls with Jack 4 suited. Mack makes the call. Ace 10 of spades. So pocket fives, the best hand pre-flop. 5 ways going up against Ace 10, Jack 4, King Jack, and Queen 7. As Jenny puts out a flop of 2, 4, 9. Pretty safe flop for pocket fives. RDW does not want to bet out into the field here, as it does check around to a 10 on the turn, and that's going to bring Mack into the lead on the hand, which probably won't have any problems making a bet here. But it looks like Clay's going to do it for him. Clay's going to fire out here for just a small bet of $10 to see where he's at. Matt comes along with the pair of fours for only 10. See if he can catch some Miracle River card here, looking for a jack or a 4. RDW's 5 still alive in the hand, and a 6 on the river does not bring any help to any of the players. So Mack is still going to be in the lead and probably never going to fold to a bet here, even though Matt is making a very good bet here of 50. Unfortunately, Mack is going to call him immediately with his top pair of 10s. So Matt, that play works against a lot of players, just not against Mr. Mack, who is never going to lay down top pair to anybody. So good try, but good hand for Mr. Mack, taking down that pot there, and the biggest stack at the table gets bigger there for Mr. Mack, who's had a pretty good run and a couple pretty good lookups. Again, we want to thank everyone for tuning in to Poker House Fort Worth on Facebook and YouTube. Some of you logged in watching us on YouTube, some of us on the Facebook side of things, but both chats go right through to me. So let me know, who are you here to watch? Are you here to watch any of the players? Maybe you're here just to listen to me, and I appreciate that, even though I know it's not true. Either way, we appreciate you tuning in to Poker House Fort Worth for this Wednesday night game of DJ's game, the $1, $2 no limit hold'em, $300 max buy-in. Queen 6 tray. Clay with the top pair leading out for 15 on this board. A third heart does come out, giving both players a single heart flush draw. Does not come home, but a 9 on the river does give Clay 2 pair, and WD makes a pair on the river, but it's not going to be any good as he bet out 15. Clay's going to call the 15 and show the bad news to Dummy, and Clay's going to take down that pot there with the 2 pairs. So I believe that pot puts Clay back in the black on the day, and it looks like it does. Great on Clay. So Mac, RDW, JD, Clay, and Dummy D are still in the net positive on the stream, whereas Orlando, East, John, and Matt have had a little bit of a rocky start. Matt, John, and East both reached for more bullets into this game, but Do not blame them one bit. This is DJ's game. The chips start to fly pretty regularly, so you can get unstuck really quickly in this game. Dummy D picking up a jack nine again, back-to-back hands, limps in for $2 East, coming along with 8-4 of clubs. DJ 10-8 offsuit calls the 2 as well. Come along by Clay. Is anybody going to find a hand to raise with here? John has king queen offsuit, raises it up 220, and Mack lays down the ace-10 there. Big laydown there by Mack. He must have something else to do. Orlando wakes up with ace king suited, so good on Mack to fold, as he was definitely dominated with the ace king of Orlando. And Orlando, he is looks like he's just putting in the call for 20, as does pretty much everyone else. Texas Poker in for 2, in for 20. I think we're going to go 5 ways to this flop. So already $100 in the middle, plus a little bit. Say a flop of ace. No, I'm sorry, Jack 7-deuce. Jack 7-deuce. So RDW and dummy both flopping top pair. And our RDW and dummy are both going to be in for 15 on this one here. John's going to float along with the king-queen overcards for 15, as is Orlando reaching for chips as well. So we're still 4-handed to the turn here on this pot. 5 of diamonds on the turn. It doesn't change anything. Check by Orlando. RDW going to continue the betting aggression here. 15. Dummy D calls the 15, and the 2 players with overcards fold and get out of the way. So we're heads up on a split pot unless one player can outbet the other. RDW going to bet 30 on this river, and Dummy D's probably going to snap call here, and he does. And so they're going to turn over the hands and show the chopped pot. So dealer Jenny to work again on chopping a pot. I had a few chop pots tonight already. So hand number 20 coming up here on DJ's game. Again, we've got an outer table of cash game going on and the stream table. So if you're listening and or watching near the Burleson, Texas area, come see us tonight at Poker House Fort Worth. Get on the list for the live stream in case one of these players decides to call it quits. We definitely fill this table up until 10 p.m. But the game goes on even after that. So whether you want to be on stream or you just want to play with these guys, you can make your way here to Poker House Fort Worth. Get your name on the list. DJ, finally, getting a real hand. Ace Queen offsuit. He's going to raise this one up to, looks like 12. Okay. Clay picking up King 10 of hearts, comes along for 12 as well. Matt, Jack 10 suited of spades, comes along. John and Mack getting out of the way. Orlando and RDW finding a fold. Dummy D going to complete with King 5 suited in East. Ace 7 offsuit. So we're going to go 5 ways to a flop for $12 a piece. The Ace Queen of DJ ahead of the field to a flop of 9 King Deuce. So that's going to give Dummy D and Clay top pair kings. Dummy D, who is never shy, immediately bets out 20. DJ frustratingly folds. Clay coming along for the 20, and looks like Matt called as well with backdoor spades and straight draws. 8 of diamonds on the turn. It does create Matt an open-ended scenario. Dummy D not slowing down. He says, I don't care about my kicker. Going to bet 20. Clay here giving a slight pause. Maybe he's the one thinking about his kicker issues. but can't get away from it just yet. Goes in, calls the 20, and now Matt's priced in to come along as well, looking for a 7 or a queen to catch up to both of these players with pocket or with a pair of kings. The 10 on the river does not help, but it does give Clay 2 pair, so he's never going to fold here. He's going to have to just look up these bets here by Dummy D, and Matt frustratingly has to let this one go, and Clay's going to turn over the winner here for a pretty sizable pot. As WD put his foot on the accelerator and did not let up there with his top pair for the whole hand there. But good on him for that. Nothing wrong with betting your hand when you have it. And Clay just coming along as well with the better kicker, and then making 2 pair on the river to make that pretty much a done deal. Lots of you guys liking the stream on Facebook and YouTube, and we do appreciate it. The more and more people that enjoy our stream, the more and more we'll get to do them. I already have some big plans coming up for the stream as we've slowly gotten everything dialed in from audios to visuals. It's been a great show every time we've had it, and a great showing by people watching, and lots of good feedback. And we do appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in. Jack 4-6, all spades on this board. Dummy D going to be betting out with his 7-4 bottom pair to see where he stands. Clay's going to come along with his middle pair. So these two go at it again to a deuce on the river. Dummy D checks his 4. Clay checks his second pair. 10 on the river. Misses both players. Dummy D going to bet out again for $5 here. Clay may just pay for an education. No, he doesn't. He does go ahead and let it go. Not even going to give up the extra $5 or $10 that Dummy D was going to bet there. So Dummy D finally dragging a pot there. Sometimes you have to do it with the chips. Sometimes you have to do it with the cards. And this time he does it with the chips. Pretty much everybody limping in at 4-5 on this straddled pot here. 7-4-9 East, second pair ace kicker, and that is about it for the field. 10 on the turn does give top pair to DJ, and both Clay going to be the one to bet it out here. Bets $10 into the $30 pot. Open-ended here for Mack. No, I'm sorry. Mack is already home. And Orlando is as well. So had so many people in the hand, I couldn't see all the cards on the graphic. So Mack and Orlando both with the nut straight already. King of diamonds on the river changes nothing for anyone else. Mack and Orlando both still having the straight. DJ and Clay checking their 10s. And Mack going to lean to this one for 45. I don't see Orlando being able to fold here. Jack Queen is the best hand, but can't just give somebody that every time. So I think he's going to have to make this call for 45 with the second best straight. Of course, that will push DJ and Clay away with their second pairs. And once again, we're going to see another chopped pot. So Mack and Orlando with the second nut straight, and Jenny starts stacking chips again. Lots of chopped pots here tonight. But that hand there pushes Mack over the 1K mark. So Mack back on stream and back in the black. His first hour having been kind to him. Couple big hands, couple big lookups. Things turning up Mack. And he won the 7-deuce game by a significant pre-flop bet, which doesn't happen very often. So that's going to work for him quite a bit of the time. So Clay and RDW right behind him on the being on the positive side of the night. Matt and John both limping in for 2. RDW picks up Queen at 10 of hearts, calling the $2. Dummy D, Ace King, just decides to limp in, while DJ comes along as well, and Clay checks his options. So we're going, I believe, 6 ways to a flop. 9, Queen, 10. So RDW flopping top 2 pair here. He's going to lead it out as well for $25. Ignore the graphics there on the flop. I believe it's 9, Queen at 10. RDW is going to bet 25, and Dummy D is going to come along and look up for a gut shot here. 6 on the turn doesn't help Dummy D. He may not build it. No, he does continue. So he is just a non-believer in RDW and binks the jack on the river, giving himself the nuts, and no reason for RDW. Yeah, but he does slow down. It's a one-liner to a straight. Any king does beat him. So I forgot the 9 was out there. So that does make it a little more of a scary board. Dummy D betting 50. RDW just has to look him up anyway. And Dummy D going to show the Ace King. So a much needed decent pot there for Dummy D to bring him up a little bit after losing the last couple pots. I think they looked at each other and smiled, knowing that he got lucky there on that river with the gut shot jack, giving him the Broadway. So I got to say, I haven't seen the VPIP stats very lately, but I know DJ's not on it. We're my Sunday night women's stream co-host. Although in his defense, this game has not lacked for the action. There's been plenty of it without him being up to his usual shenanigans at the poker table. RDW calling the $5 straddle with Ace 10. Dummy D coming along with 7-5. DJ calls with King 8 suited. Clay with the 4-deuce suited. Matt with King 9. And John going to be putting in the squeeze to $30 with Jack 8 of diamonds. I love that play, by the way. RDW going to call with the Ace 10. DJ, who cannot be sitting out of a big pot for too long, calls with the King 8 of hearts. So now it's just 3 ways to this flop of 9-8-7. So 9-8-7. That's going to give middle pair to DJ and John, open into straight draw with RDW with his Ace 10. And John going to stay with the pedal to the metal, betting $50 here. RDW reaching for chips. I think that his straight draw might be good if it comes, and he would be correct. DJ here, tough to continue for 50. Very straighty board. needed runner in hearts, knowing that, and goes ahead and lets it go. So the 10 on the turn does give John the straight with the jack now, and RDW making top pair, and very sneaky check there by John. So that's going to get him some extra cash here as RDW is cutting out a bet with now just top pair. And a very uncomfortable shift in the seat as John immediately check jams on him for about $175. So yeah, saw that little uncomfortable shift there from RDW in real time as he bets out 50 and RDW goes all in for 171. So it's only about 100 and about $150 more. So he does go ahead and make the call. 6 on the river doesn't change anything for anyone there. And John's going to have the jack for the straight. So the perfect worst card there for RDW, giving John the pot. So everything worked out perfectly for him in that one. Raised it up to squeeze play pre-flop with the jack 8 suited and ends up getting exactly what he needs to get maximum value. Well played by John there with little help from the cards as well. I don't hate the stab by RDW for that $50. Either letting your opponent think that you have the straight right there, or if they're on a club draw, making them pay for it. Unfortunately, that top pair that he did make was the gin card for John. So good thoughts, good play, tough timing there for RDW. And that puts John creeping back up on that even mark for the night so far. Took a couple of bad hits there early. Rebought back into the game. This is only a $300 max buy-in game, so only in for a couple bullets. And almost back to even to that 600 mark. And that actually took a pretty good chunk out of RDW, who put him back into the red. Mack looking down at 6-3 of spades, limps in with that hand. Folds around to dummy who calls with the jack 8 suited. Clay coming along with 5-deuce. Matt coming along with 6-9. And John checks his option with ace-5 offsuit. So we're going to go 6 ways to a flop of 7-8 ace. It's going to give John top pair, dummy second pair. John goes ahead and bets out his ace-4-10, called by dummy and Matt, who is up and down straight draw with his 6-9 and immediately gets rewarded by hitting the 10 on the turn, giving him the straight, and checks around very quickly as no one else didn't pick up much. But now Dummy D has picked up 2 pairs, so Matt goes all in for his remaining $62, and it's going to get called here for sure by Dummy D, who made, even though there's a one-liner straight, he may still look him up there. Now, he doesn't have much invested in this pot, so he could fold it here. See what he chooses to do. He decides that his 2 pair could be good enough a lot of the time, I guess. Cuts out the calling chips, and we'll see the bad news from Matt showing the straight. And so Dummy D just paid the price for a little look up there, but a much-needed double up for Matt. So Matt getting to stack some chips for the first time in a little bit. Been on kind of the roller coaster tonight. Matt came in swinging pretty heavy, made a few good plays, and took one big hit and by RDW. But bought back in and is still stacking chips. And we are at the time of the night where we have the top of the hour bomb pot. Looks like we've already got an all in here from East, who flops the nut flush on the bottom board. DJ thinking about calling or not. Doesn't have much. Looks like DJ's already folded. Clay's already folded. Matt's already folded. So this may be a short bomb pot. Now John does make the call here. Looks like he's going to make the straight on the top board. And East is going to hold on the bottom board with the flush. Oh, he's showing King 4. Yeah, so John here going to be taking half the pot. Bomb pots are fast and furious and difficult to keep up with sometimes, but they are a lot of fun if you're sitting at the table anyway. Hard to stream, but they happen every dealer change in the cash games here at Poker House Fort Worth, and then at the top of the hours of the stream game here. But they are much enjoyed by the players for the action that they do bring. Hand number 26 here being dealt out by our wonderful dealer Jenny here at Poker House Fort Worth. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to Poker House Fort Worth live stream DJ's game every Wednesday night here on Facebook and YouTube. Quite a few people tuned in tonight as we see Dummy D raise it to 40 pre-flop, trying to take down this 7-deuce game right off the rip. Last player to get through here, RDW with pocket sevens. Imagine knowing you have pocket sevens and you're up against 7-deuce. Thinking about making the call here. $40 is a lot out of Dummy D for sure. And he does make the call here, so Dummy D gonna have to put him to a test for the rest of his chips trying to win this 7-deuce game. He may end up losing over $100 trying to win that 40 from every single player. King 4 10. RDW here, if he checks it, yeah, Dummy's gonna check it back here. I don't think he's gonna try to stab it any further there. No, he's gonna make a little bit of a bet here. Let's see if RDW wants to come along for the only $25, and he does. So pocket sevens are still ahead here. Check from RDW. Dummy D going to take one more stab at this pot. Look at his stack, Dummy D. Yeah, he just doesn't bet enough to get him to fold. You got to put him to a test for all of his chips. Pocket sevens are going to be good here as Dummy D got caught with the hand in the cookie jar trying to win the 7-deuce game. Nothing wrong with that, but RDW was a short stack with a plan of probably not folding at any point there, unless he may be on the flop there. Dummy D could have put him on the flop possibly. Broke Gambler Slot saying, "What's up? How are you, sir? Thanks for tuning in." This is DJ's game. $1, $2 no limit hold'em with a $300 max buy-in. A game that anybody can play, but the action is just good enough to stream, and the characters are definitely worth the watch. Mack here, the largest chip holder here. had some good calls, some good cards. Definitely been his night tonight. John with the king 9 offsuit going to raise this one up to 10. Matt and Dummy D coming along. 8, 8, 9. Matt going to have a gut shot straight. Top pair for John, who was the pre-flop aggressor, goes ahead and bets out 20. Dummy D going to float with the 2 overcards here. Unfortunately, shares one of those overcards with John. Ooh, but the only card he can hit does come on the river. So Dummy D getting away with a sneaky one there and wins that pot away from John. So it gets a little bit back from that 7-deuce attempt. Tough beat there for John, who could only lose to a queen. That was the only card he could lose to. Matt here finally pick up a real hand of ace, queen of hearts. Eight, 9, 10 jack on this board here. Clay with the ace king. John with the set of eights, even though there's a one-liner to a straight on the board. Not afraid with the set of eights. Ignore the graphics there. I was trying to send a message to let them know on that there, but flop is 6, 8, 9, 10 jack. And Clay going to bet this out for 35, but I just don't see how John can lay it down for this amount. And it does make the call, so good call there by John. Good play by Clay. You just got to need a little bigger caliber bullet than that. Actually, he got raised by John on this river, so that's even a better play there by John, showing courage and that he has the hand. And there's no way that Clay is going to be able to continue here. And a big pickup there for John, much needed. Matt here, pick up ace king. Clay bet at 25. Matt 3-bet to 50 here. Clay makes the call, and we are heads up, both players with ace king in a pretty decent spot and pot. Deuce 5-7, so it's going to come down to aggression. Matt was the 3-better pre-flop, and he's going to go all in, and Clay is going to have to let his ace king go. So well played there by Matt, having position and taking the betting lead and aggression on that flop and taking down that pot. So good play there by Matt. John raising it up to 10 with king, jack of hearts. 3-bet by RDW with pocket queens. Dummy comes along for 20 with pocket fives. Clay with pocket tens. We have a decent hand brewing here. John letting go the king jack suited. I don't blame him with a 4-bet now by Clay to 65. RDW makes the smooth call with his queens, and that's probably going to price in WD with his pocket fives, which it does. So pocket queens, pocket tens, and pocket fives, 3 ways to a pretty decent flop or pretty decent pot here. And Jenny will bring us to a flop of 10, 9 to ace. So huge flop there for Clay, but that ace is going to scare RDW in from getting too much money out of it as Clay goes ahead and does ship his remaining 184 into this pot of about the same amount of money. RDW can't make the call with pocket queens for what's going to be effectively the rest of his stack with the ace sitting out there in front of him. And WD going to let his go as well. No, I'm just kidding there. RDW does make the call, regardless of the ace. So RDW going to pay off Clay here for his flopped set of tens, and a big, much needed pot there for Clay. So pocket tens comes out best, outdrawing pocket queens with a 10 right on the flop. John trying again with ace jack offsuit. This time raises it up to 10. Mack makes the call with king X mystery card. Orlando, Dummy, East, DJ, all coming along for 10 as we are very quickly getting Texas heads up here in hand number 33. Five, six, nine. Two clubs. Mac betting out 20. So it looks like that mystery card in his hand could be another club. Orlando calls the 20 with middle pair with his ace 6. Ace on the turn does give him 2 pair. So Orlando now could be in the lead, depending on if Mac. Well, he's definitely going to be in the lead. But Mac's going to raise it up here. So, okay, this hand just took a weird turn. So, ace on the turn gives John a top pair who floated along with the ace jack offsuit, leads out for 35. Mac bet to raise to 90, and 2 pair by Orlando was just folded. Interesting fold there by Orlando. John, who initially made the bet, goes ahead and lays it down. So Max shows betting that's pocket kings. No, it's just ace king. Okay, so he raised on that flop with just two overs. So big bet there by Mac. And I got John off the hand. Obviously, of course, he had the better hand, but did get the better two pair in Orlando to lay that one down. So he might want that one back, but it's hard. It's hard to make the call sometimes when you have a bet and a raise in front of you, two streets in a row. Several players coming in to this hand, number 35, raising it up from Clay to 15. Matt and John coming along. Orlando calling the 15 as well. I think we're seven-handed on the way here. But this is a perfect squeeze spot for DJ, who limped in with ace queen and just decides to make the call. DJ not on his gamble game tonight so far. Again, been plenty of action, so hasn't been on many opportunities for him to really make any moves. But that one could have been one there. As we see a 10 deuce, 3 flop, 2 hearts, Matt with a flush draw. Orlando has top pair. Clay with the initial pre-flop raise and pocket sevens makes a bet. An immediate all-in there from Matt with the second pair and flush draw. Well played there by Matt again, who has been short stacked for the majority of the stream, but has played that short stack pretty perfectly. And it is going to work. So good pot pick up there by Matt. East waking up with pocket fives, just limps in. Clay coming along with king 4. John raising it up to 15 with his ace jack suited. Mack letting ace 6 go. Ace, queen, 9, 2 clubs. Good flop here for John. Unfortunately, nothing for East to come along with these Broadway cards on the board. John betting 15, and East going to float. Okay, so East is going to float for 15 with his pocket fives. 10 on the turn doesn't change anything. John still best with his ace, going to continue to lead this out, and East probably going to be it for him on this one. So took one shot, tried to hit the 5 with one more card, didn't quite get there. So pick up there for John, who has now climbed back over the even mark. So congratulations to him. Pocket 4s and ace queen. Mack on the 3-bet, going to a flop of king 7, 8. Immediate follow up there by Mack, and John has let the pocket 4s go. So Mack picks up another big pot there. Mack on a roll tonight. And apologize to those in stream. We're almost done with some of the audio issues here that I am having. Keeping you guys as up to date as possible on the going ons of the show. That puts Mack over the 4x mark. Fantastic, fantastic night so far for Mack.
call half of that. I put it half that if you call. I gave you half of it if you call. I showed you these are space things. Appreciate you. Only got a hand. I had to go waste jack. You have a shot beat? Your Mack at like 9, 10, yeah, he's on the belt. Right? Okay.
And we are back here at Poker House Fort Worth. Sorry for that little delay there in the commentary, but we should be good to go now. Have not missed a whole lot. Few pots here and there. Mack still the chip leader of the table with a little over 1.3K. A vast leader over the field. John having the second largest stack with about 600. All things turning up Mac today here in this $1, $2 no limit hold'em DJ's game, $300 max buy-in.
aren't the same color.
Several people to a flop here of ace, 8, deuce, 8. RDW with pocket fives in the lead here. Bet out here by Clay with 2 overs, king, queen. Matt making the call with ace 4 of diamonds. See if RDW wants to give these guys credit for a hand. Does not. Calls the 15. DJ with a flush draw, queen high, makes the call as well. So we're still 4 ways to a flop. King of spades on the turn gives DJ the second nut flush, but it is a paired board. He checks it over in flow to Clay, who continues the betting line. Does bet 20. Ace 4 of diamonds into the muck. RDW still want to hold on to these pocket fives, makes the call. Let's see if DJ makes an announcement to himself. He doesn't make an announcement here just yet. And it's going to check all the way through here. DJ thought that Clay might bet one more time, does not. And so DJ picks up a much needed pot, making that flush on the turn there. So dragging in a good pot.
What do you have, Mack? Like Jack 4 or something? And Queen Deuce. Okay. Yeah. I figured you had an 8 gapper in there. When you talked about it. You can either one of them. All diamonds in it. Yeah. I've seen that.
DJ, after winning that pot, picks up King Jack offsuit, raises it up to 6 here. Matt coming along with his 8-4 suited. John making the call with ace 7. Orlando looking down at 4-3 of diamonds, makes the call as well. RDW decides to let his 4 deuce go. And we are going 6 ways to a flop. 8-9 ace here on this board. Dummy D having an ace goes ahead and makes himself known with a bet of 15. John with the only other ace here in the hand. It's going to fold around to Matt, who makes the call with his second pair backdoor heart draw. So ace 7 and ace 6 are in the lead. Matt looking for an 8 or 4 or a heart. Does not quite get there. 9 on the turn. Might help these gentlemen with their kicker issues. Both players with an ace, but neither of one super proud of their kicker. Matt's still going to stick in there with his 8. And yeah, DJ's wife and Cole, sorry about the sound issues on the commentary, but yeah, it was about time for DJ to pick up a pot. DJ, did he not get much sleep last night? He's not the same DJ we've known and loved. He's laying back, being too passive. It's going to be a chop pot between Dummy D and John with the 8 kicker playing on the board. Maybe I'm being too mean to DJ. Maybe he worked really hard today or something and he's just sleepy. As Ginny chops up the pot between these two players, you see the chip count down at the bottom. Mack with a massive win today so far, almost 1.3K in his stack. Closest to him being John and just about 700. After that, it goes even further down. DJ sitting with about 5, and everyone else with 300 or less. It has definitely been Max night tonight. And it's not that he's been dragging just a ton of pots. The pots that he has been in have been just really good pots. DJ's wife thinking that DJ needs some vitamins. Like I said, in his defense, he just has been handcuffed most of the night. The action has been definitely definitely there, so not much room for him to make any moves tonight. Cole, I wasn't going to say it. But yeah, the clean shaved DJ is just not the same DJ. Everyone limping into East, who has Ace King and raised this one up to 20. 10-7 suited of Clay comes along with a call. Orlando going to make the call as well with King Queen offsuit. RDW and Dummy D letting their hand. No, Dummy D's going to come along with the Jack 7 offsuit. So 4 ways to this flop. Ace King, 10-7, King Queen, and Jack 7. As Ginny puts out a flop of Ace King 9. So top 2 pair for East, smashing this flop. And he does make a very good check to see if anyone else caught any part of that. But unfortunately, it checks all the way around. Queen on the turn. That brings a gut shot for Dummy, the flush draw for Clay, 2 pair for Orlando, which is going to get him in a lot of hot water since East flopped top 2 and definitely had a sneaky check. It's going to bring Clay along with the flush draw. Orlando, like I said, as well with the lower 2 pairs. So we have a big hand brewing here. A Jack on the river actually gives Clay the win with the 10-7 of clubs picking up the 1 card draw. And East goes ahead and checks it. Unfortunately, there's so much out there, but it's all broken down to that 10. So I don't think you're going to see Orlando or East make this call. They're definitely upset about the fact that it became a one-liner with a 10 to make Broadway to ruin their 2 pair party. It's going to save Orlando his whole stack, though, because he might have lost the rest of his stack to East had that Jack not come up on the river. So while it seems to be the worst card he could see, it's actually the card that saves him his money. And East here really hasn't got out of line, and so I think he's just going to count up and see what he has left. If he makes this call, a crying call for sure. The pot was raised up a little bit pre-flop, but a 10 is within many ranges. So it's either all in or fold. Oh, and he's going to go ahead and swing for the fences and raise it up, and Clay's going to snap call with the nuts. So East just couldn't be a believer there. It happens. It happens. It happens. Throws his last few bucks there over to dealer Jenny. And Clay picks up a very healthy pot, bringing his stack back up to 2x where he started. East may want that one back someday, but sometimes you just have to look somebody up to keep them honest. And there was quite a bit of money out there anyway. Just might have had the frustration of flopping such a big hand and the deck unfairly turning against him by the river, as it does tend to do. Players tossing in their $5 for the bomb pot. Top of every hour, do a 4 card Omaha high double board bomb pot. For those unfamiliar, it's Omaha rules. And if you're unfamiliar with Omaha rules, the main difference is you must use 2 cards out of your hand. You get 4 cards dealt, and you must use 2 of them on each board. So you use 3 cards on the board and 2 cards out of your hand, unlike in Hold'em, to where you can use any amount of cards you wish out of your hand, or even all 5 cards on the board. In Omaha, you must use 2 cards out of your hand, and there are 2 boards. So one half of the pot goes to one side and the other to the other. So we wait for the graphics to catch up because we have a lot of cards that get dealt out. We have the multiple boards dealt out, so things get a little bit haywire for a little bit. We just do our best to keep up with the action as best as we can. I know that some of that board is not correct, so it's hard for me to really make much of a guess here as to what people have. But Matt did bet 40, and everyone else has folded around all the way to Clay. Clay is going to make the call here. It looks like we've corrected the graphics, so it looks like Clay has a flush on the top, or flush draw on the top. I did see that much so far. And Matt has not a lot, but enough to be good for the bottom. And it's going to be an all-in and a call. Clubs get there on the top for Clay, and that's what does he have? What does Clay have down there on the bottom? It could be a scoop there. I know he has the top with the king high flush. And it's showing, so it's queen 10, 3 deuce ace. Yeah, he's got Broadway on the bottom and then nut flush on the top. That's going to be a full scoop there for Clay. Tough one there for Matt. And I think that might do it for him. So bomb pots definitely bring the action and also bring the pain whenever every card changes so much when everyone has 4 cards in their hand. There you see some chip stacks. And there's our 20,000 point series free roll. That's right, a $20,000 free roll that we're having October 12th. That's a couple months away because there's only 3 opportunities for you to get into this free roll. One coming up next week, August 3rd. Now, you're going to play in this qualifier for only $25. Your chip stack is going to be determined by how much you have played in this month of July. Even if you haven't played much in July, everyone still starts with a base 5,000 in chips. And then every tournament that you played in, the cash game hours that you played, high hands, many ways to stack your chips for this qualifier on August 3rd. But even if you don't have a lot of chips stacked up, you can still participate for only $25 because in this qualifier, the top 15%, I believe it's 15%, move on to this $20,000 free roll championship. That's so you're just shooting to qualify to get in, excuse me, into that free roll championships on October 12th. So even if you haven't played much this month, this is only a $25 qualifier. Might as well come and shoot your shot and try to punch your ticket into this $20,000 free roll that's going to be going on October 12th. There's only 3 opportunities to get into this tournament. One on August 3rd, one September 7th, and then another one on October 5th. So the beginning of the next 3 months, you're going to take all of your participation in the club and cash games and tournaments and stack up those chips. And those are the chips that you start with in the qualifier. So you can build your way to a big stack to make it easier to get into that top percentage to make it to the free roll. And one of the ways to get those chips is to play in our $500 guaranteed lunch free rolls every day at noon. At noon every day, a $500 guaranteed lunchtime free roll. Registration is open until almost 1:30. Uh, a complete free roll. So you start with 3,000 in chips just for being a member with us. There's an optional instant bonus for $10 for an additional 7,000 in chips, and then you can re-enter or rebuy at any time during registration for $25 to get you an additional 20K in chips. Then at the add-on, you can purchase a 25 or a $50 add-on for 20K or 50K in chips. It's been a fantastic tournament. The pot has definitely been over 500 the last couple weeks. It's just a fun time if you find yourself off of work and in the area around lunch around Burleson. And then on Sundays and Mondays and Thursdays and Saturdays we have our evening free rolls, the $1,500 guaranteed Chipapalooza free rolls. They are at 6:30 every Sunday and Monday, and then Thursday and Saturday. Structure's basically the same. You get your 3K free just for being a member with an optional $10 instant bonus for 7,000 more, giving you 10,000 in chips for $10. And then you can choose or not to purchase a $25 add on for 20,000 in chips at that point as well. And then you have the add ons that are optional during registration. Same structures in both free rolls, pretty much. Uh, the 6:30 p.m. on Sunday, Monday, Thursday, and Saturday, a $1,500 guarantee tournament. So lots going on any day of the week here at Poker House Fort Worth. Uh, Noon every day for the free rolls, and then our evening tournaments every day except Wednesdays. And even on Wednesdays, you can still come play in our cash games and participate right here on this stream in DJ's game. The $1, $2, no limit hold'em, $300 max buy-in. It's been a fantastic game. I've been with you guys for about 80% of it. Had a little bit of technical issues there a little bit ago, but I am back and in the commentary booth, and we will get to watch this for about another hour and see if some of these people can catch up to Mack, who has been on pure fire tonight. Three people to a flop of a raised $20 flop, including the newcomer to the table. I believe his name is Rich. So RDW with pocket tens bets this flop of 4-8-9. Rich with ace 10 offsuit. May decide to continue here with a couple overs. Does do so. DJ had pocket threes, decides to go ahead and let that one go. So we're going to be heads up to a turn, which is the deuce of clubs. No help to Rich. RDW still ahead with his pocket tens. Continues with the pedal to the metal, betting 20. And Rich here making a cut of some more chips. I like it. Richard came to the stream table to play, raising him 20, and men click back, and RDW makes the call. And now RDW, unfortunately, doesn't have much left. So while that was a great play by Rich, I think he might have missed RDW's chip stack, knowing that he just didn't have much left to let it go. So Rich here, unfortunately, just has to make a crying call of the last $29 and see that the pocket tens of RDW are going to be good. So Rich had the right idea. Just unfortunately, his opponent did not have enough chips to really get out of the way. And RDW is going to receive the double up from the newcomer Rich to the table. Again, great play by Rich, just not quite matching what RDW's chip stack was. Needed to pull that trigger a little earlier there and put him at a choice of his stack at that point. Or, and I'm not sure that would have even worked. RDW gets pretty sticky, and having the pair of tens as an overpair to all three cards on the board. I think a good play by Rich, just tough timing. And we are on to hand number 52. Mack looking at 6-5 of diamonds, limps in 4-2. Orlando is just hasn't really got the wheels on the track today, but hasn't really gone broke either. Showing lots of patience and good decision making. And DJ, who just hasn't gotten anything going today, folds out. Matt waking up with ace 10, did come back to the table. Looks like he had a small buy-in back in, is all in for 62 with his ace 10. Mac coming along with 6-5 of diamonds. Orlando letting his hand go. Dummy, who likes to get a little sticky here, looks like he's going to put in this call with king queen off suit. And I believe Rich will probably be coming along as well with his ace jack off suit. And it does so. Matt getting 4x here, maximum value with his ace 10. Unfortunately, it is in rough shape to Rich's ace jack. But we'll see if Matt can get himself a 10 or a lot of clubs to take the lead on this hand away from Rich, or if Rich can hold. Sizable $250 pot here already, as Jenny brings us to a flop. 3-deuce-8. So 2 hearts, ace jack still in the lead. 9 of clubs on the turn. It doesn't change anything. Gives Mac a gutter. Rich here going to go ahead and start putting some money into the pot to see if he can build a side pot. Mac says, you know what, I've got a 7 or 4 double gutter here. I'll make the call. And they're going to be heads up on the side. Jack on the river does give Rich the best hand that he had already anyway. Puts in the rest of his stack, and that's going to be a fold from Mac. And all of the main and the side will be headed to Rich's way, where the ace jack did hold as the best hand. Congratulations to Rich. So Orlando, RDW, and Dummy are the only players left at the table that are in the red. Matt, obviously in the red, but might be going to the ATM machine, or might call it an evening. RDW been on quite the roller coaster tonight. Dummy D, kind of the same story for himself. He's never really got super up, but definitely had a good string of hands there where it was big win, big loss, big win, big loss. But he's still on his first bullet here. Dummy D, speaking of him, is going to limp in with ace 6, and Rich going to wake up with pocket jacks, going to raise it up to 16. And I don't think that's going to get a call out of anyone here. Nope, Dummy's going to defend his $2. Calls the additional 16 to come in. So pocket jacks looking to dodge an ace. 10 king 6 on this flop. Dummy with bottom pair. Rich still in the lead with his pocket jacks. Makes a continuation bet, and Dummy gets out of the way. So out of the pot there for Rich. So the movement to this stream table has been a good one so far for him. And we've got an open seat. Looks like it could be being filled by somebody here. If you'd like to play in this game, we do it every Wednesday at 7 o'clock. You can sign up anytime at Poker House Fort Worth. Just when you're here, just sign up to be on stream. And we do have a newcomer to the 7 seat. Get his name into the computer here shortly. Can't quite see his face, but I think I know that gentleman, but I'm not 100% sure. But I believe that is Philip, a great guy and pretty regular here at Poker House Fort Worth. RDW limping in with 8-6 offsuit. Rich coming along, testing the heater that he's been on with his Jack 7 offsuit. Looks like Clay calling it as well with the 7-6, and Philip, his first hand, sitting down with Ace Queen, going to be raising it up. It's like 15 to play. Orlando. Finally, the patience pays off with a decent hand. Looks down at pocket kings and goes ahead and ships it all in for 116. I'm pretty sure Philip's probably going to make this call. I don't see anyone else here making this call. So Philip going to be sitting down and being put to the test right on his first hand with a pretty decent hand. Does he want to make this call on the first hand on stream? Ace Queen shrivels up really quickly. He does go ahead and make the call with the Ace Queen. So Ace Queen versus Pocket Kings here. See if Orlando's patience pays off or if Philip, the newcomer here to the table, gets a quick little up on his stack. Looking for a queen to take the lead on this hand. 10 at 7-4 doesn't quite get there. Ace on the turn buries the Pocket Kings of Orlando. So unfortunate for Orlando, who has played patiently all night long waiting for it. Doesn't quite get there when he does get the hand. And Philip just sitting down at the table picks up that quick pot with the Ace Queen offsuit. So tough one there for Orlando, who played well all night. We'll see if he sticks around or if he calls it a night. Played very patiently, didn't get involved a lot, only in for the one bullet. And Philip sits down and gets put to the gamble test right off the rip and passes. Rich calls $2 for 8-3 off suit. The strange man no one knows in the 5 seat, who I do not recognize, folds. Clay with king at 10 offsuit. Looks like he is going to limp in at 4-2. Now he raises it to 12. Philip, seat number 7, reaching for chips with this ace 5 of clubs. Probably going to make the call here, which he does. Mack 8-6 offsuit, calling $12. RDW in the small blind. 10 more to play. It does come along, as does Dummy D with the pocket 2s. And does Rich want to come in for all that money? He does. So Texas heads up 6 ways to a flop. Jack 6-10 rainbow flop here for these 6 players. Clay second pair, and not much else for anyone else. Mack has bottom pair. Clay's going to bet this out to see where he is at. No player holding a jack. Running clubs or an ace for Philip is what he would need it to continue. Decides to get out of the way. Mack makes a pair, which is sometimes good enough for him to keep playing, and it looks like it is. He's going to make that call with the bottom pair. That's going to do it for RDW, Dummy, and Rich in this hand. So we're going to go heads up with Clay, second pair with the king 10, and Mack with bottom pair. Deuce of clubs on the turn doesn't help anyone. Clay's going to continue the aggression, though, and well on him for that. But he is up against Mack, who does not like to fold. A 9 on the river doesn't help either player, but it's hard for Clay to just to continue betting when Mack, is just going to call the world no matter what. Clay does have the better hand here as long as Mack doesn't raise him here on this river. I think Clay put in a bet there of 20, and Mack immediately calls and is going to see the bad news, and Clay is going to pick up that pot there, pushing him closer to that 1K mark. Good night for Clay. We had a newcomer here, Lonnie, in the 1 seat. Fantastic to see players that want to participate on stream. Definitely helps us to give some content for you guys to see, and shows encouragement that people enjoy playing on the stream, and we can continue our production and the improvement on the stream. Had a couple issues tonight, but nothing super major. Graphics are looking great. The stream quality is looking great. The sound is 90% there. Most of the issues were from my end, unfortunately. I am in West Texas doing the commentary. I won't be in Fort Worth until this weekend. But with the technology these days, I can commentate on the stream from off the side, and it's really cool. If you could have told me I could have been doing this, or I would be doing this about 6 years ago when I was doing live streams for poker, I would have said the internet doesn't work like that. But it, in fact, does. 5 players calling at $10 to see this flop. We got 2 players holding clubs, Philip and John, both with the shared clubs, and Dummy with the ace high, but in spades. Queen 4-7 rainbow, safe territory for John and Philip, which could have been a train wreck of a hand. But no one really hitting this flop. We'll see if anybody wants to continue any aggression. They do not. Checks around. 5 ways to a turn. 3 of diamonds. That is no help to any player. See if somebody wants to start betting just yet. No one just yet. We're going to check around to a river. 8 of diamonds, bringing back the backdoor diamonds, which does not help anybody. No one has an 8. So we have Dummy D, who is going to have the best hand here, ace with a 9 kicker. And he's going to bet 15 because he knows that he's best. Good on him, and picks up a small, much-needed pot. Dummy D being pretty patient tonight, only on his first bullet as well. Let the cards come to him. He's made a few good moves, played in several big pots. Some have gone his way and some have not, and that's why he's floating real close to the even side of the meter. Mack and Clay, the big winners for your stream so far. We got about 30 minutes left of the stream. Of course, this game will continue on past the stream close time. The strange man that no one knows in the 5 seat does limp in with King Jack offsuit. Mack with pocket 4s comes along as well. Dummy with pocket 5s make the call, and Rich with pocket deuces. So we got pocket 5s, pocket deuces. Quite a few hands here in for this $2 limped pot. Queen 7 king on this flop. DJ, or whatever his name is, bets $10 with his top pair, and it's going to get this so DJ going to take that one down, show the king. And DJ's fans, I'm doing my best not to roast this man. I've never seen him play this passively before, but in his defense, I suppose there's been plenty of action without him pushing the issue, and the cards have just not been in his favor. So he's definitely playing a little more conservatively tonight. because the action has been so heavy around the table. I've just never seen him not want to be a part of it with any two cards. I would have given DJ a napkin and an Applebee's card, and he would call a raise. But tonight he's taking the more conservative route, and I think that's why he's a little bit up on the evening. Philip with the Queen King offsuit calls the five. Mack 6-5 offsuit comes in. Lonnie calls with 9-8. Dummy Jack 9. Rich with 5-deuce. DJ with 7-deuce. Can DJ win the 7-deuce game? Can he completely redeem himself for tonight's performance by winning the 7-deuce game? This is it. This is what he needs. He only raised it to 22. Who is this masked, beardless man? Raises it to 22 with 7-deuce, trying to take down this 7-deuce game. Doesn't make it through hardly anyone because it is Texas Hold'em and in for 2, in for 22. So 4 ways to a flop. DJ looking for an opportunity to win with this 7-deuce game. Ace 8-5, he's going to immediately check. Mack with the bottom pair here going to bet this out and bet out heavily. Looks like he bet 40 into this $100 pot. So that's going to be it for DJ. DJ's wife, if you're still there, tell this man to grow his beard back. I don't have any other advice at this point. I think that was the secret to his powers, apparently. DJ last week would have raised everyone out of their chair with 7-deuce and laughed as he took their $5 apiece. Tina getting ready to deal hand number 59. Yeah, Zach, that's probably true. He is playing passive tonight because you're not there. No, I'm roasting DJ, but the truth is it's definitely been an active game. And when the game is as active as it is, it's hard to get in there and make moves without just purely gambling. And while that's fun, a lot of the times, if the action is pretty big, it can handcuff you at times when you're not catching any cards. And although he is a man that can play poker without any cards, he seems to be content with sitting back and watching it flow tonight. Clay and RDW heads up to a 6 on the turn on this 10-10-4 board. Clay with the bottom pair does check it, checked by RDW. And Clay is going to get counterfeit here on the river with 10s and 6s on the board. RDW is going to be best with the ace. So that small pot is going to go RDW's way with a little bit of help from the board, counterfeiting Clay's bottom pair. John, who hasn't picked up much in the last little bit, ace jack offsuit raises it up to $10 under the gun. Mack has not folded yet and immediately raises with 7-deuce. Here we are with the 7-deuce game again. Now, pay attention here, DJ. This is how you play the 7-deuce game in case you have forgotten since you decided to shave your beard. But Rich is going to lick him up here with the ace-8 of hearts. So it's going to put a little wrinkle in the plan of Mack. John had a very good hand here. Let's see if he continues on. He does. So Mack having his work cut out for him here to take down this 7-deuce pot. 3 ways in for 45 apiece. A flop of 10-4 queen. So John checks it over to Mack, who's pre-flop a 3-better. This is his opportunity here to take it down with the 7-deuce. All players missed everything. He needs to make a pretty healthy bet here, which he in fact does. 130 a pot size bet, and that's going to be enough to take it down. And everyone will now be throwing Mack an additional $5 chip for winning the 7-deuce game with aggression. Good on Mack. The 7-deuce game alive and well here at DJ's Game on Wednesday nights. I am way too passive of a player to play the 7-deuce game, so I shouldn't be roasting DJ. But good on Mack, who has had a fantastic night, and the cards have definitely fallen his way, and some of the plays that he has made for a $1,300 night so far on a $300 buy-in. Clay right behind him with just under 1,000, and then everyone else less than half of that. It's just basically been the Clay and Mack show when it comes to chip stacks. But there has been some good play from all the players tonight, really. Clay going to be the one to raise this up with the King Jack offsuit, and right behind him, Philip, newcomer to the table, who doubled or got a not quite double up, but made a little bit off of Orlando early with the Ace Queen all in against the Pocket Kings. 3-bets this one to 35. It's going to get its way through all the way around to Clay, who's going to make this call with the King Jack offsuit. And so now Philip looking to dodge a king to still be in the lead on this 3-bet flop. And unfortunately, he hits a queen. That's going to give him the world. And he's going to be forced to check this hand here. So now he's hoping that Clay continues the aggression, which he does. Fantastic news there for Philip as Clay bets out 20. Philip checking to make sure that he has 2 cards that match that top one on the board, as he indeed has top set. Makes the smooth call against Clay here. So now Clay picking up a jack. That's a tough card for Clay. Philip here is sitting in prime position to get max value out of this top set so far with the aggression and now made pair of Clay. Clay bet out 25, and Philip go ahead and made the raised him 50 more to 75. Now, this isn't an easy fold for Clay. Philip played it pre-flop really well, or on the flop very well, so it's hard for Clay to put Philip on a fantastic hand. 3 on the river doesn't change anything in Clay's mind, but he does check it over. Or no, Philip is the first to act here. And this is going to be a tough one here for Philip. See how much it is that he can bet that will still get Clay to call. Clay does have the jack, and since Philip checked that flop, he could think that jack is still best. Philip counting out some chips. He made a check raise on that jack. I know in Philip's mind the best play is a check here to see if Clay will bet it again, but I just don't think Clay's going to bet it again. I think Philip's got to bet something here. Like I said, the sneakiest of plays would be to check, but I don't think it. Yeah, he went ahead and went all in. I think that was the second best option. Check it and hope that Clay follows up, but you don't think that he will. And so the next best option is to swing for the fences and hope that Clay has enough to think that you're bluffing and tries to snap it off. But instead, as a friendly guy, shows the pocket queens for the full house, and Philip is up a couple $100 for just barely sitting down here at the stream table. Hand number 62 coming up, in Mack still having the big stack at just under 1.3K. Clay is still in a firm second with a little over 800. Philip has moved into third. I'm sorry, John is in third with 650. And then fourth is Philip with a little over 510. And everyone else hovering around even or just a little bit negative. Have had a few people bust out of this DJ's game. Choose to come back and fight another day. RDW choosing limp with 9-4 of diamonds, and now Rich with his pocket queens going to raise it up to 20. The new players at the table have had the hands to play with. Mack, looking down an ace queen offsuit, makes the call. RDW with the 9-4 of diamonds chooses not to come along, so we're going to go heads up with Rich and Mack. Pocket queens versus ace queen. Mack looking for an ace, take a lead in this hand, otherwise it's going to be all Rich, while sharing the queen with Mack. 7-8-5 on this flop. Rich going to continue the aggression here. Looks like he bet 25. And Mack's hand is really pretty, but just depends on if he is going to put Rich on a pocket pair here better than eights. If he wants to float with two overcards for 25. Looks like he is. So Rich going to get a little bit more money out of Mack, as long as he doesn't hit an ace here on this turn or river. King on that turn could scare Rich a little bit, the first overcard. And if you're putting on Mack on ace king, king 10, king queen, he does get there. So the 6 on the river as it goes check, check. You may see Rich make a bet now, which he does. And Mack, who has called with ace high before tonight, has been correct, is not going to do it this time. And Rich is going to show him the pocket queens. So another big pickup for it there for another newcomer. Can bring Rich back up to about the 400 mark. Both Rich and Philip new to the table and instantly getting into the black. The couple big hands picked up right off the bat. We've got about, I want to say about 20, 30 minutes left of the stream. DJ, 5-3 off suit, raises it to 10. There's the mystery man. He's back, at least for this hand. And unfortunately, everybody's going to come along for 10 with a various holdings. Queen 10, Queen 7. And the flop is 8-3 deuce, right in DJ's wheelhouse. And Rich is actually going to take the betting lead here with a pair of deuces. DJ calls the 15. Mack here with a 10 high diamond draw. Probably going to come along for this bet here at least. Lonnie going to let that one go. So we're going to go three-handed to the turn that shows a 6 of clubs. DJ still best with his pair of threes. Rich still taking the betting lead here with his bottom pair betting 15. DJ calls. Oh, and Mack just hammers it on this turn with a semi-bluff. Gut shot straight and diamond draw. So Mack taking an unorthodox line here, at least for Mack, and putting maximum pressure on Rich and DJ. So DJ finally wakes up with the hand that he likes and is playing it the way that he likes. And Mack just goes aggro mode and takes that one down with a $200 bet. Takes down that pot. Well played by Mack there. So we saw a brief glimmer of the DJ we know and love, and Mack stepped all over him. Well played by Mack. and even Rich betting in there with the bottom pair. Definitely, definitely aggressive on both sides of DJ there for that hand. Rich with King 10 coming along for 10. DJ again with 7-8 of diamonds makes the call. John seems to be his hand of the night, Ace Jack. He's gotten that several times tonight. He's going to 3-bet this one up to 40. Well played. Lonnie, newcomer to the table, has not played a hand yet, but wakes up with pocket tens, cutting out the chips to make this call. RDW into the muck, back over to Rich, who has the initial raise of King 10. DJ calling 40 as well. And so we're going to go 3 ways to a flop as this game is starting to get out of the weeds. 3, 6, 9 on this flop. Open-ended for DJ. Lonnie with the overpair. Oh, and Lonnie's just going to shove right into DJ, and DJ is going to have to just think long and hard about this one. Tough one here for DJ. About the best hand that he's had so far tonight. And that's sad to say when it's open-ended. Yeah, you see him there sitting back in the chair. As his thoughts are exactly what I am telling you they are. For a man who has had nothing all night long, finally flops open-ended with the backdoor diamond draw. And it's just getting to the point of the night for gambling. And the newcomer to the table shoves 238 into you. I don't hate the fold. He's only got 40 invested into this pot, but when you're open-ended to the nuts and backdoor diamonds, DJ does decide to let it go. And don't blame him. Like I said, he's had one of those nights to where that just feels like a hand you're going to win. And Jenny's going to rabbit hunt it there, showing that DJ would have missed, and Lonnie shows the pocket tens. So DJ got to see the run out there. Like I said, that just felt like one of the hands that you were going to win there. I understand exactly what DJ was thinking there.
No, I was open ended. At 7-8 of diamonds. You have 2 of them out. Huh? 75, like 75. And 2 diamonds on it. 9 diamonds with the 3 diamonds on it. But that's talk about it in a minute.
John with the ace-9 offsuit raises it up to 15. Mack waking up with ace-queen calls the 15. RDW coming along with king-10 offsuit. And Rich, who seems to have sat down with a purpose, has played almost every hand since he sat down at this live stream table and performed well with it, comes along as well to see a flop of Jack 10-5. RDW with the second pair, gut shot for Rich. Couple of overcards for Mack, which he has tended to have been sticky with tonight. But John going to be the one to bet this one out here. Pretty healthily as well. 25. And Mack, who has just floated with overcards a lot tonight, comes along and brings everyone else along as well. So Rich looking for a 9. RDW looking to hold his 10s. And a 4 of diamonds on the turn. No help to any player, but does give Rich a double gutter. John going to continue the aggression there, and pretty well into aggression here, betting 135. So Rich makes the call of 135 with his double gutter. Looking for a 6 or a 9. Oh, no, he doesn't make the call. I'm sorry. He hasn't made the call yet. The graphics got a little ahead of the action there. He is thinking about making this $135 call by John. John just with the pedal to the metal this whole hand. Rich is just feeling like he could hit a 6 or a 9 here. Does he feel like it's coming? Only 3 out of 10 times will it come. And he does go ahead and lay this one down. So John, with his very good aggression, does end up taking this pot. Hand number 66 by Dealer Jenny here at Poker House Fort Worth on the $1, $2 no limit hold'em $300 max buy-in DJ's game on Wednesday night. You can sit down at this table. All you have to do is sign up at Poker House Fort Worth anytime during the week. Be in on this live stream game. Very affordable game. But the action is good enough to buy into for only $300, but big enough to stream. It's always a fun time every Wednesday at 7:15. We're going to go 5 ways to a straddled pot here. Everybody limped in for the 5 to see a king, 7, and 3. RDW with the bottom pair of 3s, and that's it so far. Checks around to a turn with a jack. Bringing up a club draw as well that no one has at the moment. Mack does make a pair of jacks, and not much for anyone else. Gut shots for DJ. And RDW does have the bottom pair, decides to call for 15 more to see what can develop here on this river, looking for an ace or a trade to take this one away. A 10 does not make it happen. Mack's going to check it over to RDW. And is RDW can take a stab? No, he doesn't. So they're going to go check, check. And Mack is going to take this one down with a pair of jacks. That mountain of chips in front of Mack has played well tonight and ran well tonight, which usually means stacks and stacks of chips. I think he's won the Seven-deuce game twice as well. Just making all of the right moves here at Poker House Fort Worth tonight. Got about 6 players in the black for tonight. Mack, Clay, Philip, John, Lonnie, and DJ. DJ is sitting just about even. Everybody else up for the evening. Folds around to Mack, where he limps in with the ace, 8-6 of hearts. RDW just calling the $5 with pocket 9s. Rich calling the 5, DJ getting out of the way. Clay coming along with 9-5 offsuit, closing the action. We're going to go 4 ways to a flop. No, I'm sorry. Clay raised it up. Let the graphics catch up here. Clay raised it up to 20, taking the lead on this hand with the aggression. And everybody comes along. So we're going 4 ways to a $20 a piece flop. 5, 7, 8. So big possibilities here on this hand. Rich open-ended. Clay with a pair of 5s, gut shot. Mack open-ended with top pair. RDW gut shot with an overpair. A little bit for everyone here, and Clay is going to continue his aggression for $20, and it's going to bring everyone else along. So this pot has quickly escalated to almost 200, well, $160. 7 on the turn, no help to any player. Could scare a few away, but Rich is going to take the betting lead now, and I like it. A great move there by Rich. Still having the same open-ended hand, but choosing to take the aggression on this hand. Clay just has bottom pair with the gut shot, has to let that one go. Mack can get sticky. Mack can't get sticky, but Mack even lets it go. RDW is the only one he's going to have to get through here, and it's going to be almost for the rest of RDW's stack, and I don't think RDW is going to be able to get away from this hand. Yeah, so another great bet by Rich, but just a miscalculation on RDW's chip stack. The jack on the river changes nothing, and RDW can't fold his last $29, so Rich is just going to go ahead and put him to the test just in case. RDW is going to have to call here, and he's going to be best with his pair of nines. So, again, great play by Rich, but again, just like earlier, didn't quite calculate his opponent's chips, knowing that he was just a man that couldn't fold. And RDW is going to take that one down with the pair of nines. Again, it's a well-timed bluff, well-timed bet, but sometimes when your opponent just doesn't have enough chips left to fold, they're going to have to call you down and you need something. So love the aggression out of Rich. It was a very sizable pot to make a good play at, but I think next time instead of betting the 100, you just got to go ahead and put it all the way in. And maybe RDW would have folded at that point. He still had an overpair to that board, but it was a wet enough board that the pocket nines might have gotten away from it. But either way, in normal settings, with everyone having quite a few chips in front of them, that play would have been a good one and would have worked. Mack limping in with King 10 offsuit. Lonnie looking down at Queen 10, raised it up to 15. WD hadn't caught any cards lately, has let his one go. DJ with a suited Jack 8 comes along for 15. And here's Clay with the 7-deuce game in full. Going to call the 15 here with nefarious thoughts in mind to try to take this one down with the 7-deuce game and have the additional equity of $5 from every player. A flop of 7-3 king, and the 7-deuce does catch the middle pair, but Mack and Lonnie both with the top pair of kings. So Clay's not going to be able to get away with a fast one here. He is going to bet this one out. It looked like he bet 15, and Mack and Lonnie might be raising here. He had a double-fisted chip stack there. He does. He min clicks back 230. So Clay's still going to come along. Maybe he can sneak out a 7 or a deuce on this turn. So, and of course, Mack doesn't go nowhere with the top pair. Another king on the turn. That's all the kings left in the deck. So Mack and Lonnie are going to go to war over this one, and Clay has to believe one of them has the king, so he does let that one go as Lonnie bets 100. And Mack thinking about this here, wondering if his 10 kicker is going to be good enough. Knows that Lonnie never doesn't have a king in this position here, or pocket sevens or pocket trays at least. So Mack here, knowing he is in a tough position, can he get away from it? It would be the only real misstep he's had tonight if he calls this, knowing that he shouldn't be calling this. but he may just have too many chips to fold. Look at him shaking his head. He knows he shouldn't be making this call. He's played really, really, really solid poker all night long, and he knows he's beat here. He just can't do it. He just can't do it. That's called too many chip syndrome, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to go ahead and put Lonnie in the rest of the way, uh, knowing that Lonnie's going to make that bet no matter what. So the first and only misstep by Mack, in my opinion, here today. But again, uh, he just has so many chips that he just could not get away from it. And Lonnie's going to be best with the queen kicker here. Mack looking for a 10, 7, or 3 to chop the pot with a 7 or 3. A 10 to outright win the hand. And the pot of the night, $644 pot. Which way is it going? It's the 10, and Mack has pulled out the Miracle River card. And sometimes it doesn't matter if you misstep or not. If the night is going your way, it continues to go your way. So a little head nod, hand gesture, and apologetic there from Mack. And Lonnie, who got it in fantastic, unfortunately runs into a guy that has just been nothing but gin all night long. The biggest pot of the night is going to the biggest stack already of the night, making a sun run for Mack. Almost 1.8K. Props to that man. Sometimes it is just your night. And props to Lonnie getting it in when he had best and was going to have best a vast majority of the time. But again, sometimes it's just your night, and tonight is Mack's night. And we're going into the bomb pot. This is the final hand of this stream. Now, this game will continue on past the stream, so if you are listening and or watching from near the Poker House Fort Worth area, you can come get in on this game and play with these guys, as I feel like they're going to continue for a while. Things are starting to get a little more loose. Chips are flying a little bit faster. I don't see this game coming to a close at the end of this stream. So we are going to play a 4-card, 2-board Omaha bomb pot for our closer here on the DJ's game, Wednesday night, 7 p.m., every Wednesday at 7 p.m. $1, $2, no limit hold'em, $300 max buy-in. We've got Jack 10 4, Clay with a Jack and 4 in his hand, and Philip right after him is going to bet this one out with the Ace Queen in his hand with the Ace Ace King on the bottom board, looking for that gut shot Broadway on the top board to have an absolute monster. Mack not waking up with anything. RDW King Queen 10. See if he wants to continue on this very scary bottom board. Top board, he does decide to come along. WD with nothing lets this one go. Rich with the King 9 7-deuce. He's looking for a little bit of a hope and a dream on this one, but sticking in to continue playing. We're going 4 ways to a turn. Doesn't change much on either board. Philip still first act with the trip aces gut shot. Only bets 10 just to keep people stringing along here. RDW coming along as well. Richard, who picked up a pair of 7s on that top board. And he does have aces and kings on the bottom, I suppose. And DJ still coming along, did he? I did. It's the first time I've seen his hand on the board. He's got pocket jacks for top set that is just not going to be good very often, unfortunately. RDW ended up making the straight on the top, and yeah, so it's going to be Phillips and RDW's here. DJ is just going to show his pocket jacks to hope that his set is best, and it's not going to be as he sees the straight out of the other players there. And so RDW and Philip are going to be chopping up the bomb pot to end the stream. Ace Queen on the bottom, and the Queen King on the bottom left over there for the top board. So it's going to be a chop pot between Philip and RDW. So a good stream. It was definitely got a little bit in the weeds there for a little while, but for the most part, plenty of action to be had most of the night. And Mack, the return of the Mack is just on one today, almost 1.8K on this DJ's game. Looking forward to seeing him hopefully next week. See if he can continue that sun run, because what a sun run it was. Clay and John both having good nights. Clay, I think Clay was only in for one bullet, so a great night for Clay. Him and Mac showing the most profit. Philip, who came in late, made a quick $250 on a couple big hands. RDW, who was on a roller coaster tonight, ends up cashing out 450 and change. Rich, latecomer as well, ended up getting up and then getting back down. Lots of action, lots of good play, and in fact, two very good plays that just didn't quite work out in his favor. Of course, DJ lost just a little bit as he didn't have much to play with tonight at all. And Dummy D, who was on a roller coaster early, ended up just about $100 loser on the night, so nothing to be too worried about. But thanks for tuning in to Poker House Fort Worth. For DJ's game on Wednesday nights, you can get in on this game by checking in at Poker House Fort Worth and getting on the list. But you can come and check out Poker House Fort Worth any day of the week and raise some chips for the August 3rd qualifier that's coming up next weekend. It's the first opportunity to punch your ticket into our $20,000 free roll. That's right, a $20,000 zero buy-in tournament championship on October 12th. You're going to have three opportunities to get into this tournament. The first one coming up next weekend on August 3rd. And these qualifiers are only a $25 entry fee. Anybody who is a member of Poker House Fort Worth can play in this qualifier for only $25, and an active membership gets you 5,000 in chips to start with. And then all of your participation that you have had for the month of July, cash games, tournaments, high hands, all accrue chips to play in this August 3rd qualifier. And some of these players have big stacks, but some of them just have just the 5,000. So even if you haven't been able to participate much at Poker House Fort Worth over the month of July, this is just a normal tournament that a 5,000 chip stack can be spun up very easily with. And all you're shooting for is the top 15% to try to get your ticket into the $20,000 free roll tournament. So that's all you're trying to do, is get in the top 15% of the tournament next weekend for only $25. It's going to be a very, very exciting tournament. There's only 3 chances to even get into this thing. And so you definitely have to take advantage of next weekend for only $25 to get in on this tournament August 3rd for the $20,000 free roll championship on October 12th. Thanks to everybody for tuning in for the DJ's game here at Poker House Fort Worth on Facebook and on YouTube. Again, if you want to sign up for the game, you can sign up anytime at Poker House Fort Worth to play on Wednesdays at 7 o'clock. And if you have any questions about the $20,000 championship or anything else, you can send us a message on Facebook. Otherwise, I will see you back here on YouTube or Facebook next Wednesday for DJ's game. And I might be able to put together a stream this weekend for some of the tournament action we have. But if we don't see you online this weekend, I will see you at Poker House Fort Worth in Burleson. Send us a message if you have any questions. Otherwise, we'll see you there at Poker House Fort Worth. Thanks for tuning in.